Good evening, folks. Welcome to Have a Seat with Fan Case.
We're off to a great start.
And today we don't have Chris Hansen, but we're all acting as Chris Hansen. Fan Case. Oh, here's some
we're off to a great start.
Audio.
And today we don't have Chris Hansen, but we're all
Dark, you should turn down the volume, I think, maybe.
That's not mine.
Oh, that's on my side. Never mind. That's great. Okay, that's why I was hearing myself. Sorry. Well, light's coming back. Okay. Did you press the X button again?
Every time I go to to check the chat, if I go out of the chat, it closes the whole thing.
Don't worry about the chat. I'm keeping an eye on the chat.
Okay, so let's pretend like that few minutes hasn't happened. So, good evening, folks. Welcome to Have a Seat with Fancakes. We're all Chris Hansen tonight, and tonight we're going to be exposing someone under the name of Matt/Larry Appleton. And first, we're going to explain a bit of his background, with Dark and Light Angel here, so you guys can speak for your time. This is your time now to explain who he was before all this and your relevance to him.
First off, it's not the Larry Appleton, the actor that played the character from the show Perfect Strangers. This guy's real name is Matt. That's all I'm saying of his real name. And when I first came in contact with them was during a point in our lives when I was going against a guy going by Johnny and Johnny and Charlie, who were trying to blackmail and go after Light here. Do you want to explain any of this? And hello, SVP Star. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Hello, Alice.
Also, you don't have to worry about reading the chat, because I think we're gonna have a time later where we ask questions or whatever. But
okay,
yeah, I'm just gonna put it on screen messages and stuff.
But do you want to explain any of that, Ariel, or do you just want me to do it?
Well, from where I know him from is he randomly tweeted me up on Twitter, and he was always nice to me.
But yeah, do you want to explain who he was involved with, his involvement with Johnny or whatnot?
He was friends with Johnny, but he never really acted like Johnny, at least not around me.
He did. It was in the comments.
What do you mean by that, Dark?
There was times when Johnny would make a video going after Eugenia Cooney and stuff like that, and saying stuff like he was agreeing with Johnny and all that stuff. And that's basically where our first interactions with him came from. Yeah, and he was going after you on the Annan site.
Which I didn't know about. And to let me explain, I did hear about this before, but the guy, Matt/Larry, he really twisted it to me, oh, I never knew that they were doing this stuff, I didn't know what I was getting involved with, I now think that they're just scummy, and if I would have known that, I would have never talked to them and stuff like that. So I heard about it, but to me, when I first started talking to him, it was very just twisted, oh, I didn't realize
he was saying he didn't realize, but we had said it in the comments,
which I didn't realize
video, right? Right. I know you didn't realize because you weren't around. Yeah, and he claimed the account had been suspended, like Zork said, because of comments, which is rare.
But yeah, so is there anything else like to that? Like, was John? Did we say what Johnny was like or no? Because like, I think it's important to know like who he was hanging out with, type deal. I guess.
The guy he was hanging out with was known as Johnny Hale, who was a
Sorry.
man in his early 20s, I'm going to say, who was going after Eugenia Cooney. He was real obsessed with her, telling her that she had to talk to him and all that. And he was going after Ariel, trying to blackmail her into sending him photos, talking with him on Skype. When she refused, he'd attack her constantly. And it turns out that the last time we had dealings with him, he was on his way to prison or jail for child porn.
But yeah, so that's who he was hanging out with, and he told me about, because I actually asked about it. I was like, that was like one of the first things I asked, and it was like, oh yeah, like I didn't know about it. Yeah, that's who he was, white supremacist. Like he was like, oh yeah, I didn't know about it. I didn't realize how bad they were. Like we would make jokes and stuff, but I never thought they'd be like serious or like I don't know what I'm saying. But also the reason, like, if you read the description, I mentioned I'll call Johnny Cooney because that was like one of his like different names that he picked to like when he changed his channel. First it was like Johnny Hale, then it was like I don't know all the others, but Johnny Cooney was one of them, and that was the one I remember. So that's why in the description it says Johnny Cooney because that's the one I remembered, and that was one of his last like aliases or whatnot.
Yeah. And his buddy Charles Heiston was a 16-year-old boy who also was trying to help Johnny blackmail Light. And he had also been trying to force his now ex-girlfriend into starving herself and all that. I'm not mentioning her name. She doesn't want to be involved in any of this. But also in an interview I did with them, Johnny straight up said that if he did go to prison, yeah, he'd want Charlie to show up there for conjugal visits.
So yeah, is there anything else to that anyone wants to say? Like I know Zorkman was involved in before. Like what do you remember about like Larry or like Johnny or any of that? Like if you want to say that real quick, we can read in the chat, Zorkman, because you had like past experience. But so before we like move into like the background, or like I guess like before we like leave the background, I guess that's what I meant. Before we like leave the background, like is there anything like you want to say? Like this is what he was acting like, or this is what they as a whole were acting like.
Well, also Charles Heiston, he got busted by me because he was actually using somebody else's name that he found on Facebook for his Twitter account.
Which is pretty shady. I'm just waiting for Zork to say something right now, like one last thing, like no, I don't have anything else to say, or like yes, I do, and whatnot.
Right.
So yeah, so that's who like this Matt. I'm not gonna say his last name because I think we all learned that like from someone else, like the names, saying last names was like
taboo,
and how it can get you taken down. So I would totally expose his name right now because he's a terrible person, but I just can't because YouTube, obviously, you know.
Oh yeah, like Zork said, he wanted to add that Matt was sympathetic to Johnny's racism.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna put like a banner here. Like even people here, what's it called? Even if you don't like the person here, let me just display this across. Please be respectful whether they're in the screen or in chat. Yep, cool. Unless it's the people, of course, but even then, like, I don't want drama. So don't like bring up drama of like Eugenia Cooney or like past mods or whatever. Like that's not what the stream's about, like at all. So just pay attention to thingy there. So be respectful and stuff. Like I understand like everyone has differences here. We've all probably had like some kind of drama before or whatnot, but here's just a stream to like spread awareness and to
Right. We're here to support. We're here to support Jess Fancakes and help her tell her story. That's all we're here for. Everyone that's here is welcome here. They were asked to be here.
Or
so
not.
That's the end of that.
But yeah, so I'm gonna get into, I guess like first was like the first messages that I had with this person. I'll put this on screen. Sorry, I'm like really nervous because I was expecting it to be like more chill in this, but you know how it is. I never actually talked about this before, so yeah. We all know how we all know how it is here, folks. So the first message is I actually originally DM'd him because I wanted to find out because we were having a problem with like someone else, like someone that like was trying to impersonate Zorkman and all that stuff, and I heard about him and I was like, okay, maybe he might know something. So I went to talk to him and I was like, yeah, Mildew Hildu, that guy. We all remember him. He made some iconic videos about me. Huh?
Just laughing.
But yeah, iconic videos about me. I those videos are pretty entertaining, not gonna lie, but I asked him and I was like, yo, what do you know about this? And then he was like, well, I don't know. I never really talked to this guy before. And then like, I was like, okay. And then like, that was supposed to be it really, but like conversation just like kept happening and stuff like that. And I like, you know, the whole like twisting things like, oh yeah, I didn't know, like all that stuff happened around the same time. And then like he started being like, just like trying to like have like a casual conversation with me, and like I wasn't rude or anything, so I'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna talk to him or whatever. Sorry, I'm talking really fast. So yeah. So that's how it would go. Like the conversations were pretty normal. It'd be like, so like how old are you? Like how's school going? You know, all that stuff. He knew what my age was, by the way. He knew I was a minor. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like there was no like before anyone else, there was no like lying. Huh?
I can confirm that he knew your age.
There was a screen there. I even had a screenshot. I had to dig for it, but there's a screenshot where he said, well, you're 14 or something like that. Like, you know, he downright said like around my age range. So he knew of my age range, basically. And yeah, that ended up happening. So first it was on Twitter, and like our conversations weren't bad at that point. It was just pretty normal, and I eventually added him on Discord. And Discord, like things started to get like more weird. Like he'd be like, we called a few times. Like that's like we called a few times. Actually, I've never mentioned this before, but we called a few times. And we like had like weird conversations. Not like weird yet, but just like I would just talk about weird crap, not like sexual crap. But yeah, I was being myself, and it was pretty fun. It was actually pretty fun. Like during that time, like it wasn't bad. And for me, I guess I should not have done that, but for me, I'm just kind of like used to like talking to people like of all ages. You know, I don't like say like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to you because you're whatever, you're whoever. I'm just gonna talk to you unless you give me a reason to not talk to you, basically. So that was the thing. And then he started going on about how he was like, oh, I feel kind of guilty for talking to you. He'd be like, oh my god, like I'm talking to someone like this young, it's like weird, I feel guilty. And I was just like, okay, like I guess that should have been like a red flag for me, but I guess like with previous people, I like normalized this behavior with like different people I've interacted with. So it was like, okay, like don't feel bad. Like I was actually trying to comfort him, like, yeah, don't feel bad about this. Like it's fine. Like I get it. You know, just be normal and stuff like that. And during this time, I was also dealing with my eating disorder. I made a video about that on my new channel. I don't actually use this channel anymore because, like, just this is a bad association with this channel, but this channel has more reach and it's original, and I feel like it's a good way to bring this story into life because it's the original channel, it's the original name and all that stuff. So that's why I'm on here and not like my current channel, which is irrelevant. But yeah, I was in an eating disorder during this time, and he'd be like, yo, like, you're, like, along with everyone else, but he was like, oh, yo, yeah, like, you're fine the way you are, and stuff like that. So for a while, he was kind of, like, nice, like, decent, and I was like, maybe he's not as bad as, like, he seemed to be. So, like, starting to trust him, like, I would tell him, like, yo, this happened in school, or, yo, like, this is what's up, or there's someone else that we had drama with, which I'm not going to give his name because he's a leech, and I don't want to start any drama with him. But he'd be like, "Yo, I hope this guy like leaves you alone or whatever." I think you guys know who I'm talking about. Do you? I don't know if you do.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that keeps coming back every once in a while. I'm not going to say his name because I do not want to get into that can of worms right now. I don't want him to go after me for this. So
No.
that's all that. So he'd be like, "Yo, I want this guy to stop," and he'd like offer to like help with that somehow. Like, what do you want me to do? And I'd be like, just we would just talk about it, write about it like I would with anyone else. But then things like slowly started to get like more weird. He'd like start calling me weird names, like, "Oh yeah, you're like hot," or like, "You're pretty," and stuff like that. And it wasn't weird at first because, like, you know, just compliments at first. It was just like, okay, should have been a red flag again, but like I said, it's been kind of like normalized and stuff like that to me. Like, so that was that. And then it just like turned even like weirder. Like there was like, he called me nerd hottie, and that was just strange. And he'd make comments like, because I've done live streams in the past, like on You Now, and he'd be like, I'd get up or something to, you know, and he'd like make a comment about like something about my body, like if I turn around to like walk out the room or something, he'd make a comment about my ass, or like he would make a comment like, oh, like you're like such a tall hottie or whatever, like you're such a cute nerd or something like that. And it was just like, I would just kind of like ignore it. Like I'd like to step back a little bit, but I wasn't. Should have been a red flag, like I said, but just something like just didn't click with me yet that I was over my head or something with this. And then I got like, once again, it got weirder because then he started asking me like weird questions, like, "Yo, are you in a relationship?" Or I don't want to say this, but do you touch yourself? Or like, have you done this before? Or like, would you ever do this? And I'd be like, well, I don't even remember what I would even say. But like, sometimes I'd answer, sometimes I'd be like, no, I'm not going to answer that. Like, that's crazy. But he'd like start to like ask like weird things, like, "Yo, do you do this? Or have you ever done that before?" And I'd be like, I don't know. And then he'd like make other comments like, "Oh, if I was there with you, like I'd make out with you and stuff like that." And it was just kind of like I was starting to get like even more comfortable. I was like, "Hey, yo, can you not do this?" Like this whole time I was here like, no, like this isn't right, but I wasn't like stopping it. Like I was like trying to be like, no, like this, I'm not like cool with this. Like this is getting weird, but I wouldn't like just stop it yet because he still seemed normal, but it was very just starting to get weird and in a weird territory and stuff like that.
I do want to interject something at this point.
Okay.
neither me nor Light knew this was happening at this point.
Yeah, they had no idea. Like, I let them in the dark. I don't even think I even told them that I messaged him in the first place. So it was just, they were like completely in the dark. Dark was in the dark, light was in the dark. Ha ha ha. Sorry. Had to joke about that. But I feel like if they knew, they would have been like, yo, stop talking to this guy. But I just had like no guidance during that point. Like, no one knew. It was just like, okay, this was happening. And then this timeline's kind of getting confusing, but eventually you say things like, oh, you're like gonna be like my wife one day, and I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna be your wife. But it was still like, if I was like, maybe it's just like playing around or whatever, but it wasn't clearly. And then it just got like even weirder. He'd tell me like, oh yeah, I touched myself today, or like, sorry, this is like really hard because of course it's gonna be, because I never actually said any of this like about all that.
No, either. Take your time. It's fine. We understand.
But yeah, it'd be like that, and then it would be like, he'd be like, then he'd like slowly like start like sending pictures of like hentai, if any, you know, like hentai, like anime, like pictures, and it was just like kind of normal, like not normal, but like not like completely sexual, and then like it became even more sexual, like more graphic and stuff like that. And then one day he eventually sent me a picture of his penis, and I blocked him. I did block him when he sent me that. I'm like, hey, if you said, I literally said before that, if you send me a picture of your penis, I am going to block you. And I did block him, but I think he eventually like contacted me somewhere else, be like, please unblock me, like, please unblock me, I'm not that bad, like, I won't ever do it again, you know, and all that. And I did unblock him because, you know, I'm gonna say I was stupid during this time. You can agree with me or disagree with me, but I was pretty stupid during this time.
I prefer not.
Yeah, that's a better word. But I was pretty stupid at this time, you know, even though you like to say naive. But that's just how it is. And I was saying, okay, you won't do this again. It's gonna end. And I was worried too, because this person originally was like kind of like a friend. So like maybe he'd like turn against me or like say some lies about me or stuff like that. So I was like already like starting to worry about that. And then he started being like, I just started like, because he kept like sending like pictures, and I kept being like, yo, if you keep doing this, I'm gonna like go to the police and I'm gonna tell on you. And then he'd be like, if you go to the police. Okay, so before I start this, he has a cat, and his cat's name is Chubbs. And this cat's like really like fat. Like, I'm not lying, like it's a really like fat cat. So he'd be like, oh, if I go to jail, Chubbs is gonna get starved by my parents, and Chubbs is gonna die. And it was like a play on like my empathy and all that, like, because I care a lot about cats, and I think he knew that, and he knew I was very like emotional about like people and stuff like that. So it'd be like, Chubbs is gonna die. When I get out of jail, my life's gonna be ruined, and I'm just gonna start walking. And I'm gonna keep walking, and for days with no food, no drink, and then I'm gonna keep walking until I get to your street. And I'd be like, what? No. I don't even remember what I said to this, but it was just like a constant like, oh, are you gonna do this? You're gonna do this? Well, I'm gonna do that once I get out. Which I wasn't thinking, because obviously when he would get out of jail, I'd be like long gone, and I would be an adult. And by that I mean the cat. The cat would be starved. Yeah, that's what he would say. The cat chubs, not him. What were you about to say, Dark?
I just said that you were talking about the cat would be starved, not him.
Yeah. But he was saying that he would be he would be like walking like starving with like no food or no car or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by that. It kind of got like blurred together and stuff like that.
He tried pulling the same thing on me. My reaction was completely different than yours.
We'll get into that later, never mind. So during that time also, like when he was like threatening me, he'd also like would get me gifts. And by that I mean he'd be like, yo, I got this Google Play card. You know, like the Google Play, the app.
Yeah.
Thing where like music or books or games. He'd be like, I got this, and here's the code and stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh wow, thank you. Like, you know, I was able to get like some apps, some games that I wouldn't be able to play without like the money. Or he would give me a Eugenia Cooney subscription, which we all know how much I care about Eugenia Cooney and stuff like that. So it was like trying to like scare me, but also like getting me gifts. I don't know what you call that, but it was just like a
Grooming.
But yeah, it was just like a game, if that makes any sense. Well, at the same time, like I remember this one incident specifically. He was like, I'm in the bath right now, and I was like, that's weird. And then he sent me a pic. It wasn't like this picture wasn't graphic, but it was just a picture of like the bath water with a bit of his leg in it. Like I didn't see his penis again or anything, but it was just a picture of the water. And you'd be like, next time you're in the bath, you should send a picture of the water to me too, or like something. Like please, give me something. Like you're being boring and stuff like that, which I never did because I wasn't falling for that. No, I was not gonna fall for that one. Like you kept like trying to pressure me to like send him pictures of me in the bath, like of my face, or like of the water, or like more, and you'd be like, yo, like you quit being boring. Like here, I'll send you a picture of the water. Like see, it's nothing. It's fine. It's fine. Like you know, like I'll get you.
I would send a picture of myself flipping him off.
that would have been iconic. And during this time, Ariel and Dark still didn't know. Like no one knew. Like it was still like very like secretive. But yeah. Also, this is kind of like off to the side. Like I don't know when this happened, but like one time I was having like some kind of like breakdown. Like I was like freaking out. I was like really paranoid. I think it was like when I was paranoid about like clones or something. Because we're just gonna put it all out here. I was like paranoid about clones, and he was like, "Hey, you should video call me right now. Like, I want to see you. Like, I don't believe you." Like he would try to like pressure me to like call him when I was like having a breakdown already and stuff like that. Which that was just off the side info or something. Like that was just something I just remembered, but that happened, and so while I was doing that, I remember being in class, and I was in science class. And it was a time where I could check my phone, because it was probably either right before I was going to go to gym or right when I was coming back to gym to do science or something like that. And I looked at my phone, and he like kept sending me pictures of these anime girls, or like I think one time he even sent his penis again. That was just something he did a lot, you know, even though I hated it. And I was like, I'm in class, stop. Like, he didn't care that I was in class. He didn't care where I was at. He didn't care that I was telling him to stop sending me stuff. And yeah, I know, before y'all ask, should have blocked him, but I was just really scared, and I felt alone. I had no guidance, and I was just freaking out, and I was like, I can't ever block this guy, because he's just gonna come after me, and there's nothing I can do about it, you know? He's gonna say I did this or do that or whatever, and that was that. That was that. So, I'm trying to think if there's something else I need to say here before I move on to the incident. Which we all know what the incident is, I think. Well, not all of you, but... Huh?
There was two of them.
Well, yeah, there was two of them, but the big incident, before we get into the big incidents, where I'm trying to think if there's anything where I was still like I don't know what's it called. I'm trying to think. But before the incident, so there was anything that like happened like before. I do remember once like when he kept like the whole like cop thing where he was like, "Oh, if I get arrested, I'm gonna walk to your house." I like wrote a suicide note because I was like, "There's no way I'm getting out of this." Like I was like that desperate. I was like, I can't get out of this. This guy's gonna ruin my life. I don't want to talk to him anymore, but he's scaring me and all that stuff. And I told him like I actually told him like I'm gonna kill myself, which I didn't kill myself. Obviously, it was just a threat basically. But I really felt like that. And my mom came into my room actually, and she read the thing, and she's like what is this? I'm like, oh, I wrote this a few days ago, and I was just having a moment, and I was like, who's this Matt guy? I'm like, oh, it's just some weirdo online, like just commenter, like just some random hater and stuff like that. So she didn't know either before you're like, where's the mom? You know, because everyone always does that, but that she just did not know. I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew. Nobody knew this. Also something else. I had a different relationship at the time because I was not with Cyrus yet, but he would ask me questions like about the relationship too, like if we did anything bad or whatnot, that kind of stuff too. But now we're gonna move into the incident. Yeah. Yeah. Are you ready, folks?
Oh, the incident was bomb.
Huh?
I said the incident was bomb.
For you.
Well,
so
you
for me is kind of what?
Hold on. The way me and Light even found out was because Jess got sold down the river by Cyrus.
Yeah, Cyrus is a hero here. Everyone about Cyrus. I don't know if he's watching, but Cyrus like really like got me away from this guy, which I'll explain because of the incident. So we're gonna back up a little bit because the incident involves that. So he somehow got like a picture of me. It wasn't like a nude or anything, but I was like in a bikini, like the ones that you'd go to the pool. But he got a picture of me, and I was in voice chat somewhere on Discord somewhere, and he was in the same server, but he wasn't in the call yet. And me and Cyrus were talking, and then he joins, and then I hear Cyrus's voice. Which, if any of you have heard Cyrus's voice, you all know he sounds like an adult sometimes, does he not?
Yes, he does.
And Larry or Matt took this as like, he went into my DMs and he was like, "This guy's a predator," which is so ironic. You're gonna regret talking to him when turns out he's gonna be a pedophile and he's gonna like want pictures of you and like be a creep and stuff like that. Which I just find that so weird because he was doing that.
The pot called
Exactly. Like maybe he just wanted me to himself. Like he didn't want to share like any of the. That's probably what it was. But he was like, "You gotta be careful. Like this guy, he's not 16 or 15 or whatever he said he was. Like he's like 20, 25. He's gonna come after you." Also, I forgot to mention Larry's age was 29 at the time. So, and I was a minor, and I still am a minor, and I'm not like I wasn't like 17 or anything. Like I was still young, still very young. I wasn't close to adult yet, even though I thought I was mature. But whatever, we're not getting into that. So he got the picture of me in the bikini, and Cyrus. And we were talking, and we were making fun of him. We were like, "So this guy thinks you're 25, ha ha ha," and he thinks that you're going after me. Like I don't know. We were just like, for some reason, I just like wasn't scared. I wasn't like thinking, and I was like, "Yeah, we're just gonna meme on this." And then Cyrus kept sending DMs like, "Yeah, I want her pussy" or something like that. It was all jokes. It was all joke, by the way. Like we were just friends, and it was just like a joke. Like, "Yeah, I want pictures of her cat," the cat Snickers, because I have a cat named Snickers, or like, people like, "Yeah, like, I'm totally a predator. I'm like 25 and stuff. Like it was all just a joke. We were all like trolling and clowning around. But then that man, what he decided to do was he sent the picture of me in a bikini to Cyrus to try to shut him up. Which was someone that he thought was a predator, supposedly, too. Which makes it even worse, because he thought this guy was like a predator too, like him. And he sent the picture to silence him, and then he was like, oh, I just made buddy with your friend over there. And I went like ballistic. I banned him, and I was like freaking out in the voice chat. I was like, oh my god, like what the heck? And Sarah's like, whoa, my god, what did you just send to me? Like, dude, delete that. That's like child porn, mate. Like that's what he said. That's child porn, mate. And we were all just like freaking out, and I was like, oh my god. He's like, how did he ever get that? Like, you know, like we're just like, and it was like really late at night too. It was like 12 a.m. So then, like, I start becoming, like, cryptic, I think. I go into the group chat, I'm like, guys, block Larry Appleton right now. And they're like, what? Why? And I'm like, just block him. And they're like, okay.
At this point, I'm down to sleep. And my phone, ding, 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 ding. It's like, what the is going on?
But I still wasn't giving any answers yet. I was like, just block Larry Appleton. Don't ask any questions. I don't want to explain. Just block him. He's dangerous or whatnot. But first, before I get into that, I did block him then. But before that, I was screaming at him like, "How do you think you could do that? That could ruin a girl's like." I was just mad. I was throwing these hands. Like I was like, "How dare you do that? Like you're sick." And you know what he was doing during that time? He was trying to flirt with me. He was like, oh yeah, be mad. Like, I know you like to take your feelings out on me. Or like, okay, future wife. Oh, I'm sorry, future wife. Like, he just kept like calling me his wife or stuff like that. And I'd be like, I'm not your wife. I will never, ever be your wife. Like, I was just pissed off. I was just going crazy. I was like, how dare you? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I was really like fighting him. Like I was like, how dare you? Why would you ever do this? All that. You know what I mean? I have to find the screenshot. I can't find them and read like some of the stuff I was saying. And then he was like, a bikini picture's not a big deal. Like, here's these girls in bikinis, and they were like young girls, and they were like, I guess they posted on Instagram or something. And he like got the images quick, which I find suspicious, but he got the images quick. And was like, see, it's no big deal, that's fine. This girl's wearing a bikini, like what's the big deal? And I'd be like, well, it's a big deal because they chose to post it. I didn't choose for you to go and spread everything about me around, you know? And I'm just gonna go back and find the DMs real quick. If you guys want to say something, that's fine. I'm just gonna find like the screenshots of like what I sent Cyrus. I was sending all the Cyrus during the time.
It was around this time that I believe Cyrus messaged me in a DM telling me what was going on.
No, I think that was later on because I blocked him, right? But then he hacked my Twitter. Not my Twitter I use now, but he hacked the one Angelic Demon Queen.
Yeah. Okay, so that was like the next day or something.
Yeah, it was like 2 days later. I was like, okay, guys, it's good. I blocked him. He's away. No, there's more, but we'll get into that because I want to read some of this stuff if I can find it. It might take some
I really can't explain any further until after you get to the point then.
Okay, but if anyone in the chat wants to say something like, "Oh my god," you want to respond to the chat if anyone's watching. It says 6 people are watching, but
let's put it this way. After I did find out what happened, Jess was in a little bit of trouble with me, though.
I don't remember this.
Jess got about an hour lecture before I even started handling business. She got it while I was looking up information.
Okay, so I found a screenshot, but I think I should start from when I started screaming at him.
Okay.
Here, I feel like there's something missing here. So okay, so this is with Cyrus when he was trolling around. Yo, like, just fucking ask me. I'm 15. Also, I'm not showing you my school ID. I don't want my face to anyone. Okay? Don't want any pedos at my door. You want to join VC and chat with us? You can hear my apparent 2,076-year-old voice too. Matt, I'm not 15, okay? I'm actually 2. No, really, I like to talk in VC, man. You can hear my actual voice. Just get in VC for like 30 seconds. Jesus, man, I'm jacking off? Okay, you earn my respect. You don't need to join, so you're reading these. Like, the fuck do you need? Have you heard my voice yet? Why are you messaging her, XD? In response, who do you think I am? Do you want me to be 22? Okay, man, I don't want to seem more crazy than I did with AR. Just say, okay, mate. So simple. Well, once you are done wanking, feel free to join VC. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're going to say you're like 29, mate. Okay, thought you were going to take it back and steal my next victim. XD. Because Cyrus is trolling around on this, by the way. I'll forgive you for explaining this. Mine is dry. Lol, like, I just want a fan to rub my pussy. Hey, can I use that eggplant? I'm actually fucking hungry. And then he sent the picture. And so I was like, what the fuck? No. How the fuck do you even have that? Delete it now. I'm actually concerned now. Fan is freaking out. Get on VC, I swear to God. Thank you. Thank you for deleting it. That's why he said thank you. Jesus fucking Christ, what's wrong with you? This is child pornography, mate. Delete off your system. Bad move. And Cyrus told me about it because we were in VC at a time, so it was all like live to me. It was all like a blur, and I was just like, well, it worked. It stopped my notification. There's a missing screenshot here, I feel like, but I was like, he was like, he won't stop DMing me, and then he's like, well, and then I think that then he was like, well, it works because my notification stopped going off because he wanted to shut him up or something. Oh, okay, yeah. He wrote thanks right after saying, no, that's bad or something. Then thanks, like, wink, wink. I have the screenshots. That's me. Whenever I'll be more angry. And then he sent, like, a cropped fake version of the thank you, which was really just him thanking him for deleting the fucking thing. He deleted stuff. It's a bikini pic, get over it. It's not ducking something to get over. Did you think he wanted to just be your friend, not boyfriend? Did you notice he edited some stuff? You know he saved it. No. So one guy who likes you has a bikini pic. Is that a big deal? You don't send things like that with no consent. That can ruin a girl's life. Not a bikini pic, but I understand what you're saying. Look, I'm sorry. Yes, it can. I'm scared you'll pull more shit like this. You know I won't. Do I? Yes, I mean, what the fuck can I do with a measly bikini pic? Can't put it on a porno site. You think I'm gonna send it to Zork and Dark? No way. Hey, you said your name, guys. Woo! Cyrus wants you to send him a friend request. He wants to talk to you one-on-one. Ha 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 ha. Lol, no thanks. I showed one guy your bikini pic to get him to stop messaging. One guy. Do you want me to be upset? Is that it? Am I not upset enough for you? Take a deep breath, Jess. Relax a little. You'll live longer. This isn't how you stop someone from messaging you, I said. It worked. Well, no, I gotta find where I got it there. You want me to get upset? I know, and it's okay, but I don't think I'm comfortable doing that right now on here because I need privacy for that. I blocked him. Talk in it. You talk to me one-on-one. That's not how you shut someone up, sending pictures like that of me. I know it was bad. I was wrong. But he's this guy pretending to be 15, and I knew he would like it. Guys who pretend to be 15 love smoking hot teens like you. He's not pretending, and he's not into me. God, that's actually kind of funny now, but whatever. Yes, it is. Imagine if he was a 22-year-old pedo, like you thought it would go to fucking everyone. I only like it because I know you. If I saw it on a website, I'd scroll right past. And I don't want to show off my body. That's what I said. I know you hate giving bones. I remember. As in boners. Because I hate giving boners because I want to give him any. I'm sorry. I have body dysmorphia, referring to my anorexia, you know? I'm not comfortable with my body. That it's not okay what you did. Look, I'll send him my dick pics.
God.
He just said, exposing me like that. And then I said, I'm calling now. Also, for the love of God, do not send him any pictures of your dick. I wasn't. I was trying to make you laugh. He's a guy pretending to be 15. To heck with him. No, he's not pretending. Okay, I'll never do it again. I'm sorry, I messed up, dude. I was being aggressive, so I messed up, made a mistake. So he did send a pic giving a peace sign. I wanted your attention too. Let's just get married. This is what he said. Let's just get married. I love to fight too. We could fight all the time if you wanted. And I said in caps, no. And then he was like,
I want to interject something here.
What?
He says that he likes fighting. Yet when I got involved, he was sitting there crying like a little bitch.
But yeah, and then he said, he, and I said, fuck you. And he said, forgive me. Fuck you. I'm sorry. No, you're not. I am. I really messed up. You just want someone to be mad at. You're bored out of your fucking mind, and I'm entertaining you. That's what he said. And I said, you're like Johnny. No. You want to see how bad you can rile me up and get pleasure from it. Just ignore me from now on if you want. So he's saying I'm getting pleasure from this as this is happening. And then he sent me a video of like my bath routine of like some girl in like the bath or something with a bikini on. This chick did a whole video in a bikini. It's not that bad. And then he sent another video. This one did a whole bikini haul. I'll type in the chat, if you type here, I love you, Matt. He. She consented to that. I didn't. Tell him to delete it off his computer. He did. Yeah, he's probably shooting ropes to it right now, referring to com. No. I should have just blocked him, but I was just mad. Yeah, right. He's probably shooting ropes. No, I never read that. And he said number one. You said you were bi. Watch this one. I have another video of a girl that he randomly had them trying on a bikini, I guess. I don't know. I will not watch. No, but she says some hot stuff in it, so you might like it more, is why I say it. No. And then he says, love me. Plus, she looks like she's underage in the thumbnail. And then he said, high school, love me. There's some more missing screenshots here. I don't have the whole chat log because this account's deleted, but I have screenshots from what I sent to Cyrus. So this is another jump. He's not pretending. Did he send you to pick holding the peace sign? Sorry, Knight. Fuck you. Forgive me. He's fuck you, I said. And he said, forgive me. No, yes, never. And then he said, always. And then he said, trigger me, baby. That one really made me mad when that happened. And I think that's not it. And he said, quit being mad at me. And I said, no. Yes. I said, why should I? I asked him, why should I not be mad at him? And he said, because I'm your future husband. Let it go. And I said, you will never be my husband. Then stop writing to me. And I said, delete any photos of me. He said, okay. Okay. And then he said, you're abusing me. You want to make me upset and then get satisfaction from it. And I said, I am not getting any satisfaction from this. And he said, it was just a bikini pic, Jess. And then he sent another photo of a girl that he randomly had of them in a bikini, which I find that weird, but he just kept doing that. And I think that is when I blocked him. So after all that, I was like, okay, we're done. I'm going to bed. Like, oh my God, this is crazy. And so I was like, you should tell your mom, go to the police and all that. And I'm like, okay, maybe. And it was just over for a few days. And then my Twitter account got hacked. I don't remember how this happened, but it was my One Angelic Demon 1 account. And I realized something was fishy because the account followed me. My current account, the one that I use right now, Magic Key Zero. It followed me, and I was like, I'm not on my account right now. And I did not just follow myself. And so I logged out of my account. I tried to log into that one. The password didn't work. And then he eventually sent me a message being like, hey, I don't have the screenshot of this, but it was like, hey. And I knew it was him. And I was like, I started trying to like blackmail him to give me my account back, and then that's when Dark found out. So Dark, do you want to say something right now
Well,
about my phone call?
I found out what was happening through Cyrus.
Yes.
And me, Jess, Cyrus, and I believe Light and Zork were there.
Yes.
All jumped on Jess's Discord.
Yeah, because I think I had a Discord.
I went, first off, what the is happening?
And we had to explain it.
And I went, okay. I started looking up information, and I'm giving Jess the third degree. Why didn't you tell us what was going on? Why didn't you ask for our help? I can't believe this has been going on this long. You didn't say anything. About 5-10 minutes after I finished with that, I'm like, okay, I got the information. I went, watch this. I ended up sending him a message, and I'm sharing my screen to everyone. He gets on there, and I'm talking to him for a few minutes, and he said something about, well, I'll send you the pic. And I told him, I said, you send me a pic of her, or you send me a picture of your dick. I'm going to track you down, and I'm going to rip it off. Finally, I ended up calling him on his phone.
Because I gave the number.
I started going up one side of him and down the other. I don't remember all what was said, but it ended up ending with him basically crying, not realizing Jess, Cyrus, Zork, and Light were all listening. After that, she got her account back, and he disappeared for like, what was it, 4 or 5 months?
He came back, I think, in like September-ish, because I was in school, but it was like the beginning of school, and it was through Telenym, the anonymous messaging app, which we all had problems with it before, because we all got harassed on there by many different people, like spreading lies and being like nasty and stuff. But he started messaging me on there, and I didn't know it was him at first. Like I was like paranoid, because I was already paranoid, but I was even more paranoid now, you know. And I then he started saying things that he would know. Like he kept being like, hey, "Oh, I got this like new Twitter now," and stuff like that. And then I don't remember exactly what happened, because I feel like this part I kind of blacked out a little bit more of. But I know I told Dark again or something. I eventually told Dark again. Yep. And Cyrus told my mom, who finally found out about it.
What had been going on at this point is Jess had started dating Cyrus.
Oh, yeah, I was dating Cyrus.
During the summer. And she was still using the Telenym app, even though we all agreed not to use it.
I don't think we agreed yet.
We had.
Okay.
It was before the end of summer we had agreed not to use it. And that's why she got another lecture about that. But it ended up moving on from there. And because we weren't really tweeting a lot, because Jess was busy with school, busy with Cyrus and all that kind of stuff.
Because I was taking all honors classes, and all I was focused on was like being with Cyrus, and I wasn't like showing up to the streams as much, like your guys' streams or something. And
right. And we weren't really tweeting back and forth. We were talking in the group chats, but not really tweeting.
Like not publicly talking, really.
Right. Well, he thought that meant we were no longer friends with Jess. So he started attacking her again. I ended up calling him, and I'm like, what's going on? Why are you back? Why am I back on the phone with you talking to you about this same thing? Oh, I thought you weren't friends with her anymore. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? He's a minor. And he just kept giving me all kinds of excuses. I told him, I said, okay, look, you know what? Here's your real name. Told him his real name. Here's your phone number. Here's your address. Here's where you work. You really want me to go forward with all this? Why are you trying to destroy my life? Because you're going after an underage girl. I told him I was nice last time. I'm not being nice this time. You've gone too far. I told him, how about I call your boss and send him screenshots of the DMs you were sending her and all that. I sent a few of the screenshots that I had at the time. I'm like, I can send this to them. Don't do that. I'll lose my job. My parents will kick me out. I said, oh, you won't have to worry about that because I'll call your mommy and daddy and I'll tell them what you're doing sitting there in their house. Don't do that. Why not? You're going to be sitting in jail. You'll have 3 meals and a cot. What do you got to worry about? He's like, my cat will starve.
The same thing you say to me.
I told him, I said, should have thought about that before you went after an underage girl. I ended up ending this phone call with him crying. He deleted his Twitter account, his Discord account, his YouTube account. He went off the rails completely.
For now.
And none of us have heard from him since.
Also, I'm going to add,
I know.
My mom also called him. I don't know if it was before or after yours, but she called him. First, she was like pranking him, like she would use like a fake voice, being like, "Hey, this is the police" and stuff like that. Like she just kept like trolling him, and then eventually, when he turned his phone on again, I was in the room with her, and she called him and said, "Look, man, I heard that you've been talking to my daughter. Do you know her age? Do you know how old she is?" And then he'd be like, "Oh, I thought you said that she was like 17." Never said that. And plus, I had a screenshot of him saying my age anyway.
Right.
And he was like, and then she was like, "Look, man, I'm not one to want to ruin someone's life. But if I have to, I will. My family's in contact. My family, some of them are in the FBI, some of them are in the CIA, some of them are probation officers, some of them are cops, and the other half of our family is all criminals who are batshit crazy. So don't mess with us." Because it really is. That's not a lie. I have family members that work with the FBI, that even one of the members of my family protected the Pope when he came into the country before. That level of like law enforcement. We have like all branches. So we have probation officers, FBI, CIA. We know people from the CIA. We know people that are just regular cops. And the other half of my family, they're criminals. One of my uncles or something like that, he got charged with like assault and battery. I don't know where domestic came from, because someone attacked him and he just like destroyed them and stuff like that. Like my family is like batshit crazy. They're either law enforcement or they're criminals. Either way, they'd come for you, basically. And then she was like, "But I'm giving you a chance. If you try to ever come back, so much as look at her profile or hurt anyone else, we're coming for you, and it's not going to be pretty, and we're going to ruin your life." But she didn't want a legal battle then, because for one, it's a lot of process, and I was still in this like ashamed fearness, and I just was not in any kind of thing to do anything like that, and I was scared that it was going to turn against me, like, oh, this will end up happening, like he won't get in trouble or something, or even though, but you know what I mean? Like that was just like my thought process. Like I was just too ashamed. I didn't want everyone to find out about it. You know, it was just like my dirty secret essentially, and she respected it. Huh?
You felt that it was your fault.
That too. I felt like it was all my fault, which I did start. The way I blamed myself was because I was the one who messaged him first in the first place about the whole mildew hildew thing, and I never blocked him then, and I didn't tell anyone, and I let him in front of me and stuff like that. So it was just And then I also felt like it was my fault because I accepted his gifts, which he was doing that stuff, but I still accepted his gifts, which, do I know why I did? I don't know. It was just grooming and stuff like that, and, you know, if someone's offering you a gift, you're not going to be like, no, I'm not going to take that, you know, just, and plus I was like, I was young, like, I was even younger than I am now, like, I was even more vulnerable, I was extremely mentally unstable, like, Dark, you know me, I was crazy then, right? Would you say so?
I wouldn't say crazy, but I would say not mentally well.
Yeah, I was extremely not well, like, I had, like, all kinds of problems going on, like,
Which we dealt with on a nightly basis.
Yeah, because I would have, like, breakdowns all the time. I'd be like, I'm gonna kill myself today, like, or I want to cut myself, and then Ariel and Dark would be like, no, don't do that, because I was just so emotional and so, like, disoriented and, like, unstable and just hurting, and I was just not in a good place during that time. So that's why didn't do anything, or why I accepted gifts maybe, or stuff like that, because I just wasn't, like, I wasn't big and straight. Like, I've completely changed over from that period of time to now. I didn't really do much, but just something in me just, like, changed then. Like, it's just, I've changed completely. Like, I'm now, like, calm. I thank Cyrus for that. I think Cyrus had a big part of that. Just like Cyrus had a big part of me away from him. Yeah.
I said, oh yeah, you changed a lot since you got with Cyrus. And it was like, at this point in time, I was constantly stressed out because it seems like I just get done helping Jess through one of her problems, and Ariel would be having one. And I'm sitting there, it's like,
we're a team of...
Okay, so I'm working on Ariel's, and then 5 minutes into working on Ariel's, I'm getting a message from Jess. She's freaking out again. And I'm sitting there just getting ready to bash my head into the wall, and it's like, screw me.
I'm glad that you were there to, like, threaten him, because, I mean, I did try, because I was like, I'm gonna go to the police, you know, now, you know, because I did threaten him with that, but it just wasn't effective until you said what you said. So you and Cyrus really helped get me away from this guy. And some of you may be wondering now, like, why are you telling us now? Like, why are you dragging all this up when this happened, like, a year ago or something? I don't remember how long it's been. It's all a blur, really. When this happened, like, a year ago, like, why are you all, like, dragging this up, like, now? It's because...
The reason for this is she has 5 very brave women to thank for giving her the courage to speak out about this now.
And these 5 women are the women from the Chris Hansen Onision case, them going on Chris Hansen's show, the support that they got, their confidence, how they're able to just sit there and tell everything. Just something in me watching those interviews, it just, like, snapped, and I'm like, I have to tell this. Like, it wouldn't just stop. Like, I'd be like, I mean, maybe I don't want to, because maybe it'll come back. But I'd be like, no. Like, someone was like, you have to do this, and I was like, I was almost like being, like, attacked by myself every day. Like, you gotta tell this. You need to expose him. You know, like, you need to do this now. And it was like, I just had to do it. And I was like, okay. I mentioned it to Dark. Like, and he was like,
at first, when she mentioned it to me, I told her she felt she had to do it, to go ahead and do it. I basically said it in a way where I wasn't going to be involved. But as I saw more of these girls' stories coming out, I realized I was basically, in a way, telling Jess, no, keep your mouth shut, don't do this. And it's like, no, that's not right. If she needs to speak out, we need to be there to support her.
Yeah. Well, at first, it actually wasn't, like, it was already on my mind, like, but what really said it, like, recently, But like I think I said it like a few months ago. I'm like, I kind of want to like tell it, but he's like, "Are you sure that's a good idea? Like, you know, I'm like, we'd support you, we could do it, but like it might not be worth it or something like that, you know." And then the interviews happened, and then we all just got like ramped up to be like, we need to tell this, you know, and all that. So that's basically like where we all got inspired to just do it now. Because Dark actually offered, like, when this happened, he's like, "Okay, do you want to stream me? You want to talk about it?" And I was like, no. But Dark was immediately, he was like, "Okay, let's go."
I was pissed off. I was on the warpath. I think during my phone call with him, I may have even threatened his life. I can't be sure. I don't remember if I did or not. I just know I was on the warpath. I was seeing red.
Yeah, and you were like, "Okay, let's go. And the Dark Justice Knights are on my channel, and we're just gonna go and we're gonna expose him. We're gonna like to expose everything about him, and you know, like, you know how Dark is. We all know how Dark is." But then I was just like, no, because it was at that point it was still my dirty secret. I still thought it was my fault. I thought I would get no support. I was worried about it, you know, and I just felt ashamed of it. So that's why, like, we didn't do it then, but trust me, it was on the table to do it then. But I was the one who was like, "No, we're not doing it. We're keeping it private." Yeah.
You scared him off. That's good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. So I guess now is to talk about like how I've changed from this, because that's what, you know, if Chris Hansen was here, he would ask me that, like, how has this changed you? Because he always asks that.
How has this affected your life and relationships?
Yeah. So how has it changed me? One example. A few months ago, I don't know if this was a few months, but a month ago or something, I just out of the blue randomly just blocked Ariel and Dark. Everyone in the group. I just randomly just blocked them, and I was like, "I'm not talking to anyone. I don't want to talk to them." But it was because I was like in this, like, I got like triggered by something, and I was just like, I had to block them, and it's not right. When they did nothing wrong, but it was just my head was like, you need to block them, you need to get away from them. Like, even though they were good and they were my friends, it was like I had to block them, you know, like, because my head was like, "You're in danger right now," even though there was no danger there. And then a few days later, I'm like, "Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I blocked you. I had a moment."
Yeah, my reaction to this, I just messaged Cyrus. I'm like, "Look, first off, I'm not mad or anything like that. I'm worried about Jess. Is she okay? What happened? We just got blocked out of nowhere. We were talking last night. I wake up this morning and we're blocked."
And I left the group.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened. So that's one way. That's like the very like recent example. But sometimes like it's more personal. But like I'll be sitting there and I'll get like flashbacks to something like, "Oh, this was said," or this was like referenced. Like even Eugenia Cooney. Like I struggle to watch Eugenia a little bit, even because of like the gifted sub, or like the fact that that's who he kind of came from, basically, because he was like obsessed with her, not in like a fan way, but like not in like a, I want to say necessarily like completely hater way, but
A Johnny way.
A Johnny way, just very obsessed with her. So it was like that, just kind of like I didn't watch Eugenia for a while. I was like, because it was just like I can't do this. And streaming, I did stream after that still, but it was still just something that's like, I don't want to stand up in my streams anymore, because I remember when he would send me a picture of like me, like make a comment about my body or something like that. Or when he would send like a picture of a paper towel with like cum on it and stuff like that. Like I forgot to mention that, but that was all, you know, all that kind of gross stuff. So it would be like that, or like if someone in school says something about like sex, because you know teenagers are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, if I you know, they're gonna be like mentioning sex or nudes or whatever." That would like trigger me, or like I'll be randomly sitting there and I'll get like all this like random anxiety and feelings from like then, or like I still blame myself. I feel like every day I blame myself and go, "It's all my fault." Barry would know this because I'm in a mental health support server and Barry's from there. Barry's still watching. Hey Barry, how you doing? But you know what I mean? Like, it's just that kind of thing where I'd be like, my life's ruined. Like, I'm still like, my life's ruined because of him, and I'm not free, and he's free, and it's like, so like that's my effect. Like, I feel like I have PTSD. I'm not diagnosed with PTSD. I'm in the process of being diagnosed, probably because I have a doctor now. I've talked about it, not to the extent, because I have a thing too. I have to avoid speaking about it. So this is actually a big change. Because before, I could not even call him Matt or Larry. I would call him M. He was M. Just M. I'd be like, I couldn't even say the letter M. And Cyrus would be like, hey, what's wrong? Like, why are you freaking out? I'd be like, M. He'd be like, I'd hesitate. And he'd be like, is it M? And I'd be like, yeah, it's M. I'm freaking out about M because what if he comes back one day or something like that? So like that's how I changed. So this interview is actually like very like,
I believe one of the times you were talking about it in the group, and you said, what would you do if he came back and all that? And everyone just said, we'll just sick Dark on him.
yeah, Dark's like the dog of the group. Like, hey, sick him.
I'm the guard dog. I admit it.
But yeah, this is also a bit more personal, but like, for a while, it actually caused problems with me and Cyrus, because Cyrus, like, he really wanted me to tell the police, and I wouldn't even tell him what he did to me fully, but I would just be like, he'd be like, why are you not going, like, what do you, like, what, like, you should tell yourself, like, he was just really mad that I wasn't, like, telling or anything like that, or, like, holding things back about, like, what happened or stuff like that. Like, he was just kind of mad about that. I'm not blaming Cyrus, I totally get that, like, why he would be, like, upset about it, because it was really upsetting, and he was there with me when the incident happened, so of course like he would be upset and like freaked out about that, because this person hurt his girl basically, so it was like he was super mad about that, like even mad at me, like why did you not tell, like that kind of like thing. And we actually worked it out, we're fine with that now, but it was a problem like that we sometimes like fight over it because it was just very painful to even mention him, to even mention the letter M. It was just a lot of pain and misery with that. And it never affected on me. We did this play this year about like abuse, and there's this child, and it's like really creepy and stuff. And there's like an element of sexual abuse, which didn't happen to me physically, but there was still this like, the play was causing problems with me, like I was having like breakdowns like backstage and stuff like that, like even though it wasn't exactly what I went through, it just still like triggered something in my brain and stuff like that. And this year I've been really like kind of like distracted, like I'll be sitting there and I'll be trying to focus, I'm trying to like get back to reality, but I'd be like stuck there, and I'd be sitting there and I'd be trying to go back, but I'd either be in the past or it'd be like this, like in this like weird distant fog in my brain, like I dissociate and stuff like that. I just don't know what that means. It's a big fancy word where you like disconnect from reality basically, and that's what would happen with me. I'd have panic attacks, I'd freak out, I avoid it constantly. So this is actually a big step if you think about it, because this is the first time I've ever actually talked about everything, especially out loud. I never really ever talk about it out loud. If I'm going to talk about it, I talk about in text. So this is really a big like kind of like step for me, which is great, but also kind of sad.
Yeah, and we're going to be keeping an eye on Jess over the next couple days because of that.
So this stream, like I'm actually surprised that I haven't had a panic attack during the stream, honestly, but it's good. But later I might be like, because I almost even backed out of the stream because I was worried that he'd like show up in chat or something, or like try to like start crap. But if that happens, I'm just gonna go to the police. Like that's just how it is. And if he's mad that I did this, you deserve to be mad, okay? You did this to me. It was your decisions. You ruined your own life. You ruined your own reputation, and it's all on you. And I know at one point you felt guilty about this, and if you ever actually felt guilty about this, don't do it. Don't talk to any of our young girls. Don't go places where young girls would go. Don't think about them. Don't message them. Don't even watch me. Like if you're watching me right now, there's something wrong. But if you accidentally watch me, take my advice. Take my advice. Never talk to another girl again. Never talk to me again. Never talk to any of us again. Never go to the Eugenia stream. All that. Just get off the internet. Stay away. You know, you did a terrible thing and you're an evil person for that. And you deserve to suffer for it. But just don't do it again. Don't hurt anyone else. And if you ever were actually guilty about this, you should never do this again. Like, you should learn from this. I wouldn't say it's a mistake because it was repeated. It's not a mistake, but you know what I mean. Like, don't repeat your actions.
Repeat.
Yes, that's what I mean, because it's not a mistake. It was never a mistake, but you know what I mean. Like, just don't. And if there's anyone who's experienced him, or someone else even, like, it's not your fault. You can talk to me even, like, if you experienced him, and if you're ever ready, even if it's a year from now, we could come on and talk about him, you know, together. We could be like a sister group, like the Onision girls are, you know. But you're not alone in this, and good news is he's gonna rot in hell if hell exists.
And I've got a piece of advice too for any young girls or guys dealing with stuff like this. Talk to your friends. Open up.
They can
Talk
change a
to
lot.
people you can trust. Your parents, friends,
Teachers, even.
teachers, and get yourself a friend that's like a guard dog.
Exactly. Always have a guard dog.
Get crazy. Get a friend that's batshit crazy that will handle the situation the only way they can, the legal way, while letting the police handle it the other way.
And also, if you didn't go to the police, like, because this actually happened before. I'm going to mention this. So I was in another mental health server, right? This is kind of off topic, but I was ranting about him, and this person DM'd me. It was like, hey, you're just as bad as him. You're like Laura, you know, Larry, Laura, like a play on word. You're like Laura Appleton. You're just as bad as him if he hurts someone, or like you're protecting a predator. So that's not true. Even though you didn't tell, or if you still will never tell, it's never your fault if something happens to someone else, or if it happened to someone else before. Like, it's not the victim's fault. Like, victim blaming is a big problem in our society, and it shouldn't be a thing. It should never be a thing. Like, there's people that like blame girls that get raped for what they wore, or they didn't say no, or they didn't bite hard enough or something. Like, stop victim blaming people, because it's really harmful, and you never know what someone's been through, and you never know how hard it is to actually say something about it. And it's okay if you can't say anything about it yet.
The amount of courage it takes to come forward and do something like this, not everyone has. They have to find that courage somewhere to be able to come forward and do something like this.
Like a Chris Hansen live stream.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful to Shiloh, Sarah, and the rest of them for having the courage to come forward and finally speak out and give all these young girls that have gone through similar things the courage to come forward.
Which they are. They're going to be an inspiration to so many people, and like all that. And this is kind of random, but even the victims that don't speak forward, like I know Sky, I think she doesn't want to say anything because she wants to move on. That's okay. Like, don't go after a victim and be like, hey, you need to tell your story, like right now, or you should do this, or you should do that, because it's a victim's own process. It's their own journey. Like, exactly. They can tell if they want to, or not tell at all, you know? Like, I think it's good.
Sky may not be coming forward on Chris Hansen, but she has spoken out. She's told her story on Twitter. Her sister has told her story. Just because they're not comfortable enough to come forward on Chris Hansen's stream yet, we may end up getting one with them. But just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that Chris isn't protecting them.
or that Chris doesn't know, because Chris probably knows, or at least Vincent knows, or someone in the FBI knows because they're investigating. So, or they could have just handled it privately with the police anyway. But the thing is, you don't have to live stream yourself to millions of people to like judge you. Well, not millions, because I don't know how many people actually watch, but to get judged by thousands of people, or like ask questions by thousands of people, or see thousands of people in the chat, talking about you or whatnot. Like even with the 4 people watching, it used to be like 6 or 10. That's still like, a victim does not owe you to tell their story like this, or at all, really. And I do recommend telling and going to the police, because it can help you heal. It can help you like move on and not feel like they're out there. But if you don't, that's okay. If you don't want to tell, if you're too scared to tell, that's okay. If you'd rather do that, then like you'll go for the legal process, that's okay. And all that. So like it's your own journey.
Never feel ashamed that you were a victim. Of anything. I understand. It hurts and you feel bad about it. You feel you could have done other things differently, but you are not at fault if you're a victim.
It's always the person that did the crime to you. It's their fault entirely, not your fault. They chose the crime, they'll do the time. Hey. And whether that's jail or in hell, either one, their soul's marked if you believe in that kind of thing. If you don't believe in that kind of thing, well, they'll still get karma one day of some kind.
And they'll eventually wind up in jail as well as hell. They'll end up in jail with Bubba as their roommate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because these people, I feel like they're usually repeat. I don't know if Larry is, because I haven't seen anyone else have problems with him, but I would not be surprised if there was someone else after me or before me. But there's still a chance for them to go to jail, even if it's not you puts them away. It's not necessarily your responsibility. I do recommend it. It's a good thing to take them to jail. But if you're too scared to, I totally get that too, because people are scared of cops and stuff like that in this country. So, yeah. Do you want to say anything, Aaron? You've been silent this whole time.
People are probably wondering what I had anything to do with any of this.
You're just here for support, man.
She was there for support during the events. And the other reason she's here is because he was directly connected to Johnny and Charlie, who she was their victim.
Yeah, so we both have I think our stories are different, but we still went through kind of the same concept. I'm not going to compare anything. So, but we both went for something. So it's like we can both sit there and relate and be like, yeah, people suck. Like they suck. Like this group of people are like weird. The
only thing that can really be compared to your two stories, really, that we're going to go into, is that I was the guard dog in both of them, and I was the one who ended it.
Yes. That's the compared part. So we're technically sisters in that regard. Hey. But yeah, if someone's watching this though, I want to say this too, because I feel like someone eventually along the line somewhere they're going to say I'm fake or I'm lying. You can believe that if you want, if you'd rather hide the truth from yourself, but it's not, and I'm telling you it's not, and you shouldn't think that way. And even if I was let's make up a scenario. Like, let's say that if I was willing to do things, the thing that matters is I'm still a minor. I cannot consent. Even if I gave consent at some point, I cannot give consent because I'm below the age of consent and I'm not able to consent as a minor. And at that time I was far from the age of consent anyway. So it's like, even if I did something or something like that, or if I should have blocked him or not, it doesn't matter because I cannot consent to anything. And plus, I did say no anyway, so...
I have a question for you, Jess.
Yes?
How in the world did you get my shirt from my closet? I have 2 of that exact same shirt.
I don't know. Is it the exact same, like the pink too? Like the little bit of pink in it, with the blue and the the green? Whatever this is.
Yep.
I guess I just broke into your closet. I don't know. Coincidence? I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear my flannel interview shirt today because I treat the shirt as fancy. So I guess I just I just broke into your closet.
Do you want to know what the sad part is?
What?
I almost wore my shirt like that.
That would make the Chris Hansen perfect though, because Chris Hansen wears a similar outfit. So it's like, okay, so we're gonna be like a matching Chris Hansen team.
You know what would have been even funnier?
What?
If when Ariel joined us, she was wearing the exact same shirt, and Sorka joined us and he was wearing it.
But yeah, so now, even though there's 4 people watching, I think if anyone has any questions for me, if you want to say it, ask them.
Or ask any of us questions.
Or ask any of us questions at all. If you wonder, okay, how did, or if you want to ask Stars, how do you even know her in the first place? Because there's always questions about that, because the whatever. But there's always question. There's always some kind of question. It's for Dark.
Yeah, I'll answer honestly. I got nothing to hide.
Yep. So feel free to type questions in. You 4 free people watching. If there's no questions, I guess we could have a banter or something. Talk about Heiston. Because whatever we could end it. It just depends on whatever we're vibing with right now. I'm pretty sure I said everything. There's something else I could think of. Later, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna think, oh, I should have said that, because that's what always happens. Oh, I should have said something about that.
I do the same thing. I'll record an entire video, upload it, then I'll be sitting there later and I'm like, oh, I meant to mention that.
That's always what happens. That's just who what I deal with.
Holy shit.
What?
Do you realize this is the first live stream we've done where we stayed fully on topic?
Oh my god, that's never happened before. But anyway, I did forget to mention something though. So, I used to own this Discord server. I've been on a lot of mental health communities. If you know me, you know the tea. I'm not getting into the tea. But the thing is, one time, it was the Telenym thing that I kind of blacked out a little bit. He threatened to join my Discord server. He was like, I'm gonna join your Discord server. He's like, I can just join your server right now. And I didn't know what he was gonna do. I was like, is he gonna post a picture? Is he gonna say weird sexual things? He's gonna harass other people? So that was part of the Telenym thing. He was threatening to join my server. And he's also asking weird questions about Cyrus too, which I didn't really answer, but it was just, and then he said something about my mom. I might actually have a screenshot from this one. But in the Telonyms, he was trashing my mother, because my mom has we're all in a complicated situation right now. It's kind of personal. With my mom and my father, Steve. I don't want to call him that. And all that stuff. So that's the thing. And he said, so I'm going to read this, okay? He sent me this. He was trying to be growing up, hating your dad, and having your mother hate your dad, and taking you on dates with other men. Because he's in the house. Shh. With her, and you and her plotting against your dad, I think it's influencing you. And I was actually really mad about that, because I'm like, one, my dad's in the, I don't want to say it, but I might as well, because I'm not going to hide it, but my dad's pretty abusive, so it's that's such a scummy thing to say, and he knew that, because I actually ranted about him to him before, which is weird. But yeah, that's one of the things he said on me on the Telenym. My Telenym's probably deleted now, I think. I don't have the app, but I don't know if I delete the whole account, but either way, it's gone. I don't have it. But that was one of the things that he said to me. And that made me mad on Telenym. That made me pretty mad. when things like when I was like when things started going down again with telling him, he was like being more mean that time. Like before he was being like kind of like weirdly flirty, but this time he was like being mean and he was like really going in for like insults and stuff like that. But then Dark called him again, and then my mom called him and stuff like that. So he's gone now. Like I said, he is gone.
And like you said, if he does come back, you are going to the police this time. And as soon as I find out about it, I'm going to be going after him, and he better just hope the police get there before I do.
Yep. And if he is watching this right now, I don't know what to say, but like, one, why are you watching? Two, I'm gonna come after you if you ever do anything again, and I won't let you do anything again. I'm strong now. I got inspired from Shiloh, Sarah, Regina, Haley,
Billy.
you know, Isla, Billy, all of them. Like, so you can't mess with me, because even though I'm not part of their sisterhood or whatever, like, it's weird because I almost kind of feel like I am, even though I'm not. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. It does. It makes a lot of sense.
Or I guess more so like their daughter or something. Like, oh yeah, I'll. It's not even the same situation at all, but because Onision's its own clusterfuck. Like that situation is like way worse, because I don't want to compare myself to anyone or anyone else's situation, but it's just still like the interviews, Chris Hansen, the anti-O community, like all of that helped influence me to get to this point today. So I'd like to thank them. I'd also like to thank Cyrus and Dark because they got me away from him originally. Cyrus with the getting me to block him and him getting Dark involved and all of that, and just helping me process that and like help me like not like kill myself then or something, because that could have happened probably, like if Cyrus was a bad person. And I thank Cyrus for being a good person, that when he received that photo from Larry or Matt, that he didn't do anything bad with it. He was good and he was respectful and he was angry about it, you know. Even if he did like me, which I didn't know if he did yet then, but even if he did, he still didn't let any kind of feelings affect like the morality. And Dark helped get him away.
You
And
didn't know, but we did.
huh?
I said you didn't know, but we did.
Yep. I was clueless. I was completely clueless. But anyway, so I'd like to thank everyone for coming, no matter how long you were here or what you've done here, if you just listened, or if you're going to make a commentary video about it afterwards, which I have a suspicion of what's going to happen, but I don't care. Whatever.
Let's not get into that. There's no reason to go into that.
Yep, there is. So anyway, yeah, so thank you all for watching, and don't victim blame me, please. I'm a minor, never consented, not right. And if you sympathize with someone like that, what's wrong with you? You should probably get therapy. If you're like, oh man, he didn't actually do anything wrong. Well, he did, so.
And
guys,
I've got a message for anyone that does that kind of stuff, that'll victim blame people and defend people that go after victims and make victims of their own. Just know, I'm always watching.
Do you want to say anything, Ariel, like final thoughts?
all I have to say is they do get what they deserve, because that Johnny guy was sent to jail after what he did to me. So yeah.
And Charlie is in hiding from me.
Anyways, guys, I have to go.
Yeah, we should probably
before
like.
you go, hold on. Before you go, I want everyone to say what they want for Christmas. You go first, Ariel.
I want a new laptop.
Okay. And you, Jess?
I want the Nintendo Switch that I know I'm getting.
Me, my gift is a little more typical. Same thing I've wanted every year. I want my daughters back home with me.
That's nice. I hope one day that happens.
It will. It will.
But I think we're all done here, right? I think everyone's doesn't have much to say. No one in the chat has anything to say. So this was an episode of
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. This was Have a Seat with Fancakes. If you want to know where I got the inspiration from, watch Have a Seat with Chris Hansen. But this is Have a Seat with Fancakes. Follow all these people, guys. You can promo yourself. My channel that I actually use is the Magic Keys channel. That's the channel I actually use. I don't really use this one anymore because bad association. Because of him, actually, I don't use it, but whatever. And you can follow my Twitter, Magic Keys 0. And you guys want to self-promote yourself anyway?
The Dark Angel on YouTube.
I'm the Light Angel on YouTube.
Oh, there's a question actually. I think.
Yes, he is still in jail. Good night, Mark.
Good night, everybody. I hope you all have a good Thursday. Better than the year I had with that person, Larry. So, anyway, you all are great. Check all these people out and stuff. Did Ariel promote her thing? I don't remember.
Yep, she did.
Okay, guys.
Oh,
bye.
1, 2, 3.
Everyone, again, subscribe to him too. Because he was also around during this time period. So yeah, thank you all for coming and supporting me. It was nice, and maybe I'll stream again one day. I don't know. I like the service though, that Chris Hansen uses, But anyway, bye.
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 End broadcast.